Hey, what's up, guys? Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with trig ratios. So, in this example right here, we have a right triangle. They name it ABC. So, it says in right triangle ABC, side AC is 6 centimeters long. And then it's asking us which statement is true. And they give us statements that involve cosine, cotangent, sine, tangent, cosecant, secant. There's really not too many tricks on this, guys. We're gonna have to remember two little rules here, guys. The biggest rule here is we have to remember SOHCAH. Okay, SOHCAH is a little way of us remembering sine, cosine, and tangent. So here, guys, we that S that represents sine. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down, sine, and that's going to be equal to opposite over hypotenuse, okay? So I'm just going to abbreviate the word opposite, and I'm going to do divided by hypotenuse, okay? We have CA, which represents cosine, okay? And that's going to be equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. That's why we got the A and H, okay? So I'm going to abbreviate the word adjacent with ADJ and hypotenuse HYP. Okay, then we have TOA. That one's going to represent tangent, TAN, is equal to opposite over adjacent. Okay, now that we laid those out, guys, I know we are working with, what is it, cosecant, secant, and cotangent, but we'll leave that up for a little bit, okay? The SOHCAH is one of the biggest things that we have to remember, guys. So once we have that, now we have to start identifying, okay, well, what's opposite? What's hypotenuse? What's adjacent? So if we look at these answer choices right here, notice how they all have a C in it. Cosine C, cotangent C, sine C. That's because we're going to be looking at this triangle in the perspective of angle C. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about adjacent, hypotenuse, and opposite based off of angle C. Okay, so what we're gonna do, guys, here is, well, we know the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is given to us. The hypotenuse is always going to be directly across that 90-degree angle. So what I'm going to do here is just I'm going to write down the word hypotenuse, or I'm going to put HYP, and I know that that is 6. Okay, now we don't know the length of right here of AB, but I'm just gonna say, you know what, that's gonna be side AB, and this other side is gonna be side BC. For now, we'll just name it that, guys. AB, BA, it doesn't really matter, guys. Just know that it's that side and then this other side, okay? But looking at it from the perspective of C, guys, the opposite of that is going to be AB, okay? So I'm going to write down opposite, OPP, and that's going to be AB. And then what's adjacent from it is going to be BC, okay? Now that we identified our hypotenuse, our opposite, and adjacent, now, guys, all we have to do is fill in these right here, okay? So I know that sine is the same thing as opposite over hypotenuse, which we already identified as our opposite as AB. So I'm going to say, you know what? Sine is the same thing as AB over our hypotenuse, 6. So that's one of my answers. On this one, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's going to be BC over 6. Okay. Then we're going to have our tangent is opposite over adjacent. We said opposite is going to be AB. Then adjacent is going to be BC. Okay. I know we still got, uh, what is it, cotangent, cosecant, and secant. Guys, the way that I remember this is one little trick I use here. For tangent, I know that the opposite of tangent is going to be cotangent. Okay, they kind of sound the word tangent, cotangent, it has it together. So I always associate tangent with cotangent. Okay, and I know that cotangent is just the opposite of tangent, which is going to be adjacent over opposite. Okay, we just literally flip-flop them, okay? So if tangent is AB over BC, cotangent is going to be BC over AB, okay? Now, the next way I remember we have cosecant and we have secant. The way I remember this, guys, is notice how we have sine and cosine. They both have, one has an S and one has a C. Well, these right here, cosecant and secant, they both have a C and an S as well. So the way I associate it is that, hey, sine goes with cosecant and cosine goes with secant, okay? The C and the S's go together. So sine goes with cosecant, okay, which is just the opposite. So cosecant is going to be hypotenuse over opposite, which we have already identified what sine was. So all we got to do is just flip-flop the numbers. So it's going to be 6 over AB. And then we said, remember, the C and the S go together. So for cosine, we're going to say it's secant, okay? Secant is just the opposite of it. So instead of B over C, we have 6 over B over C, okay? So now that we identified what sine is, cosine is, tangent, cosecant, secant, all of those guys, all we have to do is compare all of our answer choices. We're going to compare all of these right here to see which is correct, okay? I know it's kind of time consuming, but hey, the more you practice this and identifying SOH, knowing that the opposite of sine is cosecant, the opposite of cosine is secant, tangent, cotangent, the more you write it down, guys, even though it's extra work, the more that you're going to remember it, I promise, okay? So if I go and look at this right here, it says cosine of C is AB over 6, so we'll go to our cosine here and see, does this match with this? No, it doesn't, so it's not going to be that, okay? All we have to do is go one by one. The next one, cotangent, we're going to compare that. The answer choice says AB over BC, which is incorrect, okay? We know that it's BC over AB, so that's incorrect. Sine C is equal to 6 over AB. That's also incorrect. That's our answer. Tangent is asking, is tangent AB over BC? Yes, that is correct. Okay, that is one of our answers. So let's keep trying to see if any of the other ones work out. Cosecant is AB over 6. Let's look at these answers, what we came up with. Okay, no, that's not correct. Now we have secant is that 6 over BC. Yes, this matches with this. So this is also our correct answer. Okay, guys. So is there any real tricks to this? Yes and no. You just gotta remember SOH